How's it going, everybody? This is Darrin with guitarcontrol.com bringing this video lesson, and today I want to teach you how to play a somewhat simplified, well, really simplified, more of a kind of a condensed version of Hunger Strike by Temple of the Dog. Right now, guitarcontrol.com is giving away this really cool free chord chart. There's a link down in the description where you can download it. It's every chord you could ever need, all neatly compiled into one sheet, and it's PDF format, so you can download it, you can print it off, you can put it where you practice, put a copy in your gig bag, so in any given situation you can have any chord, whatever you might need at a glance, and it's a free download. So be sure to click on the link in the description for the tabs, and let's get close up and take a look at this. Alright, so the very first thing we need to do, the song is in just standard tuning, but it's in drop D. So basically what that, all that means is that I'm going to tune my low E string down to a D, so the same pitch as the fourth string. Okay. So then we, the song is made up of like a verse and a chorus and a bridge and an intro, but most of it is just the same thing over and over and over again, with just some like subtle differences. Alright, so this first part we're going to look at here is just like the kind of the main riff that is used for the intro of the song as well as the verses. The first thing we're going to want to do is that the notes that we're going to be fretting the third fret on the B string. You'll be using your third finger for that, and then you're also going to be fretting the second fret of the D string, and you'll be using your first finger for that. So we're going to be alternating between having to lift these fingers up and set them down. So we start off, we're just playing open strings, but you want to just get your hand so it's in this position, so that way you can raise and lower your first and third finger. Alright, so we start off, we're going to play the D string to the G string to the B string open. And then back to the G string. So, and this, these are counted as 16th notes. So this is like 1, E, and then on the downbeat of 2, we're going to take our third finger and we're going to place it here on the third fret of the B string. And now we're going to pick, starting there, B to the G string to the D string back to the B string. So that's 2, E, and so far we've got alright, so that's half of the first measure. So then starting on beat 3, we're going to take our first finger and place it down on the second fret of the D string, and we're going to do the same timing, the same count, but also the same picking pattern that we just did. So we're going to start with the D string, D, G, B, G. So 3, E, and then put your third finger down, back down onto the third fret of the B string, and then we're going to go B, G, D, B. 4, E, and so that's our first measure. Alright, and then on the second measure, now we're just going to play, it's going to be similar to the first measure, like the first beat is the same, so all open strings, D, G, B, G, and again that's 1, E, and then on the downbeat of 2, we're going to put our third finger down, just like we did on the first measure. So we're going to go B, G, D, B, and then on beat 3, we have open, D, B, G, B, so back to the G string. So this is like beat number 1. Then on 4, we're going to put our third finger down, and we're going to play third finger down onto the third fret of the B string, and now we're going to go B, G, D, B, 4, E, and So that is like pretty much the main riff of the song. It's just two measures, but it's just repeated, you know, a gajillion times in the song. So that second measure, so the entire riff. Like I said, that just keeps repeating. So it's played like that with kind of a little bit more of a cleaner tone, a little less gain on it for the intro and the first verse. And then, so like on the first verse, that's where Eddie Vedder's singing, and then on the second verse, or excuse me, on the first verse is where Chris Cornell's singing, and on the second verse where Eddie Vedder starts singing. It's still the same thing, but they turn up the gain a little bit, and then there's a second guitar part in there. So I'm going to show you how to play the second guitar part, and then how you can kind of combine the two together if you're playing this by yourself. So the second verse, the guitar one is just doing the same thing that the first verse did. Now the second guitar is playing the same thing, so like the first measure is the same. Now on the second measure, the first, well, the beat number one is the same, so 1, E, and then for beat 2, or we start on the B string, to G, to the D string, and then normally we would just go back to here and keep playing the rest of the thing. But what we're going to do for the second measure here, so all the strings open, D, G, B, G, and then put your third finger down onto the third fret of the B string, 2, E, and now we're going to go back to here, to the B string, so it's the 2, E, and then for beat 3, we're going to slide to the 5th fret on the B string with our third finger. So then back to the 3rd, and then the open, and then back to the 3rd. So it's like... Now, since there's two guitars, well, the other thing is still ringing out behind it. So when you're playing it by yourself and you just do that slidey thing, you kind of lose the contents of the song. So just a way that you can do it, or like how I kind of do it, is just... I just kind of... So... just to get it in there. So I slide up, come back down with my third finger, open, back to here, but still continuing the other part of the riff. So by doing that, it just kind of holds it together, and it also kind of changes it up a little bit, so it's not just the same thing over and over and over and over again. Alright, so then the last part we're going to look at is the bridge, and then this is why we needed to be in drop D tuning. So we're just going to be doing these drop D style power chords, so we're going to play the low E, the A, and the D strings all open, and then we're going to take our first finger and we're just going to bar the 2nd fret of those same strings. So we open, 2, open, 2. Now, this one is a 16th note, and then this one is an 8th note, and then a 16th note. So that gives it that short long, short long. Now, there's on this part there's actually two guitar parts as well. So one guitar does the and that just rings out, while the other guitar does the little bend thing. But I'm going to kind of again, we're going to, if you're playing it by yourself, this is a way that you can kind of put it together. So if you just go and then stop that, and then you come to the fourth fret of the D string, and I use my third finger, so that way I can put my second and first fingers behind it for a little leverage. And we're going to bend this up a half step, and then back down with some vibrato. So what I like to do is, I like to hold this with my finger like that, and then while this is still ringing, I can do that bend, and it makes it sound a little bit more like what's happening with the two different guitars being played, together. So, and then on the last two 16th notes of beat 4, we just do a quick mute strum. So what I do is I just leave my fingers in this same area. I'm just touching the strings, not pressing down, and then just a down, up, and then it just repeats. The second verse is the same as the first one of this. So. Alright, so there you have it, Hunger Strike by Temple of the Dog. So if you like this lesson, be sure to give me a thumbs up and leave a comment down below if you have any questions about this or other guitar-related topics. If you've not already done so, please subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of the content that we upload throughout the week. Well, that is all I have for you today. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.